Hello, hello. Welcome to Handelabra Live. It's Tuesday. I'm John, aka Migrant P, lead developer at Handelabra Games, and we're back with some more Spirit Island. Today we're gonna go back to our series of best and worst spirits against adversaries. Handelabra Games believes in civil rights for everyone and in being as inclusive as possible. Anyone working against these goals is not welcome and will not be tolerated. So be excellent to one another. Say hello in the chat, of course, and join the conversation. So we're gonna go back to the series we were doing before. Nature Incarnate just had a recent update. If you missed it on Thursday, so there's some new spirits and aspects available in the game, towering roots and so on. I'm gonna throw a link in the chat for this Jonathan Webb analysis of some stats about France. So the top in multi-spirit, the top spirit is by a hair Ocean's Hungry Grass against level 6 with a 66.1% win rate. There's others that are pretty up there too, like Lightning, Starlight, Whirlwind, River, Sharp Fangs are all above 60%. And down at the bottom is our good friend Vital Strength of the Earth at 29.2%. Shroud of Silent Mist is next up at 31.7%. So, yeah, and I hit random boards. I decided to give Ocean the benefit of board D, help him out a little bit. Yeah, we're going to be up against France 6. So, the average win rate totally against France 6 is just over 50%. So we're not necessarily expected to win here, but it's tough. So having a look at France, let's review what they're going to do. So we have our lost condition, 7 towns per starting board. We have the escalation. After exploring on each board, pick a land, and then it adds either blight or a town. And yeah, so level 1, they add extra explorers during explore. Level 2, of course, the slave rebellion, and the extra replacing explorers with towns. Level 3, we're adding more towns in setup. Level 4 is the good old triangle trade. Coastal cities building adds extra towns. Number 5, blight removal sucks. We need to have 6 blight per player to get the blight back to the blight card, so kind of blight removal just doesn't work, or very, very slowly. And persistent explorers, this is sort of a bonus escalation almost, that you add extra explorers after every explorer cards. And fear card effects never remove explorers. One would, you may instead push. So that's what's going on. Let's see how we do. I feel like Earth gets a bad rap, but we're gonna do our best. Okay, I'm gonna change the style here as well. Let's go back to the normal style, but we'll change the playmat to something maybe oceany. I mean, it's already oceany all the time, but let's go with this this version. Maybe something earthy. Maybe the earth. Let's go with the earthy one to represent Vital Strength of the Earth. And we don't need land numbers, so let's turn those off. Okay, so Ocean, usually I like to jump in here because that gives me range. And there's a town here that I can ground, maybe, so. And they explore in the mountains. So we can't stop them building here, but we can call the deeps that guy if we like. Hello, Spacehawk 007. We're adding an extra explorer. I'm just going to add them to places where I can drown them more easily, I think. So let's do that. And on this board, probably just, yeah, once again, on the coast for Ocean. And yeah, so I can pull that explorer and stop that build. That's probably a decent thing to start with. So I usually like to take this first, so we start getting 2-card plays and then push in on the next turn. We got stuff we can do, right? We can do this. I think we could do Tidal Boon. We're not getting a drown off of Tidal Boon, unfortunately. Unless Earth has presence at range 2, which is probably not going to happen. We already have a Sacred Site here. So I think we're going to probably aim for Earth to defend this. Or sorry, for Ocean to defend this. So this is going to be Ocean defend. This is going to be Blight. This is going to be Earth defend. This is going to be stopped. So I could do all the Land Dwellers. I would lose it to Han. Not ideal. Or I could, if I play Tidal Boon, just drown the town. And then I guess like if this land explores, we can push the town out and avoid the city build. So I think that's fine. And I think we want to get our presence in here and play Draw the Fruitful Earth and probably stop a build because of the extra Explorer. And I am getting plus energy. I'm gonna go card plays, I think. Yeah, we have rituals for some potentially good spots too, so let's go with Draw the Fruitful Earth, and we can, save that to Han potentially from Ocean and stuff like that. And we do have a place for Tidal Boon, like literally here. We can move to Han, we can move the town, so we don't have, it's not useless. And yeah, getting 2 energy for Earth. Let's go for card plays. So Call the Deeps there. Pretty slow start, but that's to be expected. And it's jungle. So yeah, we can stop the city build here. We can stop the jungle build here if we like. Bonus Explorer, probably on the coast for Ocean. Again, on the coast for Ocean. I guess, pending the event, this guy might just die here. But there's Blight. I don't want to risk that. That's not really worthwhile. Alright. Downtown. So we could pull the other explorers in here and bring more to Han and defend more, but I feel like that's not really even worth it, right? I think we use this here. We stop the build and we pull this to Han away from the coast. Probably okay. I guess we could push that town and more to Han and throw an extra defend in here to kill more stuff. Maybe that's better. And then we set up a place with ritual where rituals works. By like Tidal Boon. Even just send one of the Han, leave one to Han there for the next Ravage. What do we end up with here in terms of life? Yeah, sure. So numbers work it here. Yeah, so we would use Guard the Healing Land there. That's a Sacred Site defend. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. We're killing more stuff. And we're keeping an eye on the town numbers, right? So Yeah, we're getting a lot of energy. I feel like gaining power cards is good. We have sacred sites where we want them. Could even take a major right now, but let's go minor. Ooh, stops another build. Yeah, like, use that. We could use it here, that'd be great, but we can't. But we can use it here and pull those two guys. This is good, like, in the ocean as well, like, once we get closer to the ocean. It'd be nice for if Ocean had picked that card up, but that's fine. And we may as well make our sacred site here now. And entrancing guard. Good. Alright, Ocean wants to defend here. And while the land dwellers may be here. So let's gain a power card. Ooh, Confounding Mists. That's actually not going to help this turn, but it's a good pickup. I can't afford to play it this turn. Normally I go for 3 card plays this turn. It'd have to be Swarming Wasps. Because I don't have energy. I didn't get to drown enough stuff. I think having this card is better than Swarming. Well, you know what? Swarming Wasps does push stuff into the ocean from here. But the elements are bad. Let's take Confounding Mists. I think that's going to be better to have. And push presence from each ocean. We're not going to get to drown anything there for a while. So go like that. And I get to add presence. I guess it's whichever of these cities do I want to add presence to. I guess I want to be in this land. Or, let's go in there. And is it 3 card plays or a moon? I think it's 3 card plays for next turn, right? We're going to be getting some energy from drowning, so we're going to get to swallow the land dwellers and drown town and stuff, so okay. Stop another build. Defend enough, defend enough. Fortunately, no Dahan there, but use a sacred site. Gather, explore into its land. Well, that kind of is annoying. There are no sacred sites down here, but the problem is here that causes blight. They're doing right now exactly 7 damage, and if I add two guys, then unless we get, are we getting more defend? No, remove blight. We don't actually get to remove blight. Problem is it makes like a bunch of towns here, but we can always do the stillness there next turn if we need, I guess. So kind of extra towns, but and add disease there. 2 disease in here. Well, that killed everything now. Get a blight down here. And bonus towns, but honestly there's only 2 lands that are doing anything, and we have Confounding Mists, so we could just defend that if we wanted to. Sands Party. just add places where they already are there, and to that mountain, I guess. So Slave Rebellion is coming up in 2 turns. I want to make sure the Dahan are with some buildings. So we can just drown this here, and then take out an explorer from somewhere. We could take it here, but I don't want to kill those Dahan. We could reclaim and grab 2 of these explorers. There's a lot of towns being built. That's like losing the game number of towns. Huh. We could stillness this. Kind of a crappy situation, huh? I think pulling 2 guys from here is pretty good. The low pricey provinces. Problem is we don't have a lot of energy. We do have 3 card plays. We're gonna get a fear card. We could do entrancing apparitions to pull more guys out, stop this build. Maybe we just accept this blight, I think. Is probably what we're gonna do. Maybe even this one. I think I need to get Earth over this way to help out with the back door of Ocean a little bit. Yeah, France is a bit like Russia that way. I was putting them in the sands and then, yeah, exactly. So with Earth, if we reclaim, I want to reclaim basically for entrancing apparitions. Would let us stop this build. There's just too many towns, right? We can't be letting them do that. We do have an escalation coming up as well, probably. Yeah, I think stillness here is the play. There's just, that's like 4 towns, right? That's a lot. I guess if we get a lot of the 4 towns, we could then do something else, but there's nothing for rituals to hit. That's like big enough. And so let's get down this way. You're gonna reclaim, and we're gonna play all the deeps and a defend here, I guess, and then something else. So yeah, we'll keep that presence there. So let's get a card. Let's get a miner. What do we get? Push all explorers. Gather up to 2 Dahan. That's actually potentially useful. This is good. It does make more builds. The elements are good for me. We needed this turn. Not really. I could use it here. They would build a city. Oh, there has to be Dahan there, so that doesn't even work. I think I'm going to click this. Pretty useful with France. Okay, we're going to gather there. I'm going to gather Probably from here. And confounding mist doesn't work on replace, right? So it doesn't work on the extra towns that they would make here. We could still shove the town. We could still do that there and shove the town they build into the ocean. I think that's good. When we go for a major next turn, we're gonna have a bunch of energy. And we could do Promise of Protection here. They would blight here, but we would kill the city. I guess with Confounding Mists, I'm going to be able to drown the town anyway with this. So we could just actually defend there instead. Maybe we play Grasping Tide instead. Gets us more fear. So we Promise of Protection to bring Dahan. Clean up that land. Grasping Tide, defend it, save the Dahan. All the deeps there. Around the town. Here, I don't know. Maybe we do something with that next turn with Earth. I don't know. We'll see. And we stillness this. So they're not building. They're building one town and we're destroying it. So, and this is just going to be Blight. Maybe we get to bring Dahan in here. There might be a card that moves Dahan for us. Energy! Oh, I can't reach there. With Promise of Protection. So there's no point to playing that. We could do something else. I think instead playing Swallow the Land Dwellers is going to be better. Or Tidal Boon. Swallow the Land Dwellers, if they escalate in one of these lands, we can drown the town that they put. Tidal Boon, though, is there a good spot for Earth? Not really. I mean, the 2 energy is good, but let's do that. I guess I could put them. No, I don't think I could. I could put them in the land of the Dawn. That's probably better, right? And putting them in here with the Blight. So now they're building 1 town and 1 city. Much better. And 2 fear. Explore actions add +1 explorers. Wow, okay. Super. We're super francing here. Add beast. Sure. Sea monsters. Oh. Gather Dahan. But not where we want. At least maybe we can gather out of a place. Like, what if we actually, yeah, if we gather Dahan in here, we are getting. Next turn is the Slave Rebellion, right? So having more Dahan in lands where they're building or they have buildings is important. So we could put them here. I think here is good. Get you out of the coast. You come here. And on this side, yeah, get these two. I don't think we haven't seen anything that adds strife, I don't think. Would have been good. Choose a land to isolate. So this land skipped already, we don't have to worry about that. But the extra explorers coming in, potentially this could be sands, right? So I think this is a good spot to isolate. Anywhere that they're going to add 1 billion explorers, so I think I like that one. And then maybe just like an empty coastal land, like this wetland. Do we have any slow damage? No. No. Coastal lands. Well, there's one. Oh my gosh. So many explorers. 1, 2 extra explorers here. And France is like, but wait, I also add an extra guy. Alright, drown a town. Oh, this is awkward because now there's an extra guy here. I think we can just defend it though. Oh yeah, slave rebellion's happening here. I mean, we have it here, but it could happen here. Yeah, I'm not forgetting the rebellion. I have been thinking about the rebellion. So actually defending 4 is enough here because of the slave rebellion, right? So let's defend 4 there. By some means. And I think it's Swallowlanders here, but then we don't get to... We can defend this too. And that can blight if we need. Because I don't want to kill it to hunt. We have a place for slave rebellion there. And here is going to be 1 explorer gone there. Still so many explorers. They're building 1 billion towns. 12? We're just going to lose on the build. Unless we're killing enough towns. So we're going down 2 towns from slave rebellion. So that's good. We're still losing though. Who are the best and worst spirits against France? These 2. Ocean is the best and vital strength is the worst. I think we have to gain a power card. And hope for something. I guess we could reclaim and do stillness again to stop so many towns getting built. Like, it's just wild there's so many towns. The problem is the gain power card is not for sure, right? It might not work. I guess they're not building here. This says 2 of these towns are from here, and they're not actually building there. So that's really 10. And 2 are going away, so that's effectively 8. So we don't lose. Well, there's escalation, so we do, but it's not as bad as it seems. I think you can get a major power. And see if it's something cool. Paralyzing Fright, Terrifying Nightmares. Okay, Terrifying, these are all, look at these amazing core game cards. Terrifying Nightmares pushes these 4 guys into the sea. Or these 4 guys into the sea. Skip all invader actions, also amazing, but this is what we need. Bigger the Breaking Dawn, also crazy damage. Rapid Wings, great defend. I think it's this though. For like this game specifically, we need this. And next turn we do have a Coastal Ravage. We're gonna be reclaiming I don't like getting rid of any of these cards, but... And I can't play everything here because I don't have enough energy. So I think we lose Promise of Protection. No, that's one of the cards we can actually also play. I don't want to give up Tidal Boon. Well, I don't... Earth is going to get enough energy, right? Maybe we do lose Tidal Boon. Or it's Swallow the Land Dwellers. Yeah, okay. Swallow the Land Dwellers doesn't have Moon on it. That's a factor. Okay, add a presence to coastal land. Push presence from each ocean. I'm going to go in here. And in here. Oh, we need a sacred site for Promise of Protection. So that informs. So what we want to do is... What does this say exactly? 1 damage per stripe. And then 1 damage per Dahan present. We actually take out the city by putting more Dahan there. I mean, the city's going to die anyway, so it doesn't... We're going to defend 4 there, so it doesn't really matter. I don't think it really changes anything. I don't know that Promise of Protection is going to do anything this turn, besides give us an Earth. We can get a guy out of here, maybe, or into here. We could do it here and bring this to Han, because that's going to save them from disease damaging stuff. That's not a bad idea. Okay, so let's make a sacred site. And I don't think we're going to be playing 4 cards anytime soon, so let's start going up the energy track a little bit. We need that, we need that. No innates, that's okay. We're like completely stopping one of these builds, which is huge. Earth is... I mean, now we aren't as worried. We wanted to defend, and honestly, Intrinsic Operations is good enough for that. I'm wondering if we want to reclaim so that we can use Intrinsic Operations. We just need defend 2, right? Like, we don't need defend 4. So we could use it there, and we could stillness the other big build. We're not, like, making progress our cards, but we're just playing the same 2 cards over and over again. But somehow maybe that's okay. We want to get into somewhere to defend 3. Actually, here works for defend 3. Here doesn't. Yeah, I think... Let's go in here. It is a trap card, but against France here, like, it stops them building 4 towns. So, it's needed. It's a trap that I need. I'm gonna stillness this land and stop them building in that land, I think. Bring these guys here for next turn's defend. Terrifying Nightmares helps pay for itself, which is kind of nice. Effectively costs 2. So this is going to be defended. This is a question mark. This is going to be defended. This isn't going to build. That's not building. That's a building. That's helpful. So, I mean, they might put 2 explorers in these lands. If wetlands comes up here, it sucks. But you just have to deal with what we can deal with, right? And finally, they're only building towns. It thinks they're building towns here, but they're actually not. They're building 2 towns there. That's going to be it. So, let's see. Slave Rebellion. Add strife. Add strife. More Dahan. We did it. We did the thing. Farmers. That actually, the plus health might do something here. So, the next Ravage becomes a build. Nope. I don't think I want that. We are set up for the Ravage in a good way. So, Spurn. And we also have the new diseases. So, 2 damage to Dahan. We can choose that here. That's on each board. So, that's also going to happen. Actually, doesn't happen on this board. Cool. Add Blight to a line with at least 2. That is a Cascade, which is rough. Also a Cascade here. It's a bit rough. So that means we do Blight the island, choosing Spurn. -1 health to -1 till the end of the turn doesn't do anything because it just doesn't. And otherwise, we would add towns and build a bunch of towns here, a bunch of towns here. Build actually still builds. We might just lose if that happens. I don't know if we just lose, but it's not great. We're going to take the Blight card. Okay, here. And this is the adding Blight part. I'm gonna add the Blight here so it doesn't destroy my presence. Immediately build in 3 lands. Oh my god. On each board? That's not good. Actually, this means we can manipulate here so it doesn't cascade. Oh no, it did already cascade. It was the second Blight that did it. So we just still haven't put on the next Blight. All right. This jungle, I guess. This mountain, I guess. I don't want it to be anywhere they're going to be ravaging. But obviously, I don't want them to build a billion things. And I don't want them to Blight there. I guess it's here. Gross. Sure. Yeah. This is Stillness, so that can be one. And then probably here, because if they explore a mountain, I need a place that I can put it down. Yeah, that Blight card is not our friend. Add disease to a land with both. 2 damage to Dahan. I think this Sands is a safe place for it. Because that Dahan is... We just need 1 Dahan there. And here this would kill one of the Dahan, so... That's that. Gather up to 1... This is our first fear card. Gather up to 1 Explorer. No, second fear card. The Isolate one was the thing. We could actually stop this Blight. if we want. That's interesting. By putting one here and then one over here. No, it doesn't actually stop the blade. It's only gathering one. Forget that. So we can stop extra town builds. This is an extra town build, right? So we can send the guy away from there. And then we can just like kill an explorer, basically. By doing this. Alright, it's getting rough, and we can't really remove this blight. We're still healthy, so we have a big blight pool, but... I mean, we can remove it, but it doesn't go back on the card. For a while. And sands. Could be worse. This is not good. This coastal one is good because we can just defend it and it goes away again. So I think I want to add the town here. And I don't want this to be anywhere. I think here, this is a ritual target, right? So, yeah. We can actually hit that with rituals, maybe. Well, we won't have a sacred site in range, but in theory, it could happen. We're adding extra explorers. Not on the coast, please. And there's no land without explorers on that board. Alright, it's getting rough, but not untenable. Here we want to reclaim. We can actually do Terrifying Nightmares. So actually we don't need that defend. We can Terrifying Nightmares all those guys. So we gather this guy out and that guy out. Oh, we can, I don't know if we need the sacred site. Yeah, I don't think we need the sacred site. So what are we going to do? Terrifying Nightmares and 2 free cards. Maybe we find another free card. We also have Call of the Deeps, which can drown these 2 guys. Then we don't have to defend it, and we get more energy. And this is... yeah, we need to find something to deal with that. I guess we can just keep removing Blight or whatever. Maybe we do hit this with rituals. And we defend, yeah. Because we can't afford to defend over here. So Earth can defend this. This can just be a blight. And next turn we can... that's so many towns. They're building more towns. Building millions of towns. 8. We can't afford to, like, keep letting them build here. That's the problem, right? I could Terrifying Nightmares that land. Maybe that's what we need to do. Push them somewhere else. Delay the problem. I want to eat them. I want the energy. Problem is there's 6 towns being built here. 1 there. 2 there. Or... yeah, 1 there. 6 towns being built here. That's wild. This is why I keep reclaiming all the time. I can still reclaim, right? I could stillness this. That might still be the right play. Stillness there. And yeah, I think that's still the play. We're just stillnessing all the time. It's not good, but let's get a minor power here. Something good that's free. Nope. Poison Dew. Destroy all explorers. Yeah, I like that. I wish it said all land types, but the odds they go into jungle wetlands is pretty high. And so I'm going to click on it. This is good too. Can't play it this turn. You could also play, we could take this, which helps with cascades, but we need to destroy explorers. I'm going to click that. Let's keep this as a sacred site. And let's get out of here because it's just going to blight. So the question is, do I even want Promise of Protection? Yeah, Earth is powering up, but I need to gain a card someday. This gets me really nothing. So it's, is there a point to playing this? Probably not. I could put Dahan in here, but I don't think there's really a big point to doing that. Of course, we didn't get anything free. So, yeah, we're going to reclaim. We're going to make a sacred site here so we can use, 6 energy. 6 energy is like the sort of inflection point for Earth here. And start hitting really big majors. Stillness and guard. We don't have any other defend. So that's a blight, but that's good. And this is going to be taken care of, and this is going to be taken care of. All right. I can play another power card, but I don't think I want to. The Dahan are where we want them this turn. Yeah. We're not really going to do anything. We have one sand that's not doing anything, so that's helpful. Don't build a million things, please. Down away. Dahan trade. We want them to participate for here. It's not the end of the world if they don't. Display Wrath would mean we would kill probably just this Dahan. Kill one Dahan. That's not so bad. Change and help them learn. Yeah. That is tempting for the providing defend one in its land. That's really good for next turn. We have 3 Dahan here already, which just like ignores the city basically. It's expensive. We already have 2 air. We could forget entrancing apparitions, discard a card. That would be enough. Or just do some discards and pay a little bit. But then you also have to forget a card, right? Like it's not pretty expensive. Oh, I was supposed to play this turn. I guess I didn't. I can't play enough cards. What if it's change and help? What are we giving up for that? Seems like we're giving up a lot. It does help with this Ravage. It means our defend 4 is enough here. Like Confounding Mists or something. We still... How many guys are here? 5 or 6? 6. We could put some Dahan in here. 2 Dahan. And defend 4 as well. That does help. This is probably a blight then. Yeah, I think it's change in health, and we just try to use the Dahan as much as we can. So we want to, but I don't want to lose Confounding Mists. I need that next turn for it to defend. We can forget this. We're gonna have to forget something else too. We don't have any cards. And we don't have 6 energy, so we have... Could forget Call the Deeps. I don't really want to do that. It seems like a very expensive idea. I think it's too expensive. Let's display Wrath. We can discard this. What are the odds we're reclaiming again? Seems high. Let's discard this. Okay. You don't even have... Oh, you do have Dahan in your land, but... Sorry, Dahan. Push disease to the adjacent land with the most invaders. Huh. Well, that would have been... I mean, that helps by, Oh, wait. Hang on. Can I choose this board first? I should actually get to pick this board first, right? So that doesn't happen. That's actually a bug. It's a very little bug. It's very rare, but... I'm gonna report it. Outbreaks, shift. Let me pick for me first in this case. I think so. Let me put the disease where one of these things where it's taking a shortcut that it shouldn't take in this case, where it doesn't, it's just letting you pick the lands directly, which most of the time is totally fine, but in this case where there's only 1 disease and 2 boards, you might want to pick the empty board first. But we have to do this, and it's gonna happen. Fine. Alright. 2 for your cards. No, just 1 for your card next turn. Maybe we get to tier level 2. That would be cool. Oh gosh, there's 1 town. I think we're gonna lose. To France's condition here. Wetlands. At least we got past the ravage, the coastal ravage. That was what I was worried about, right? We actually lose right now. So, GG. Womp womp. Alright. We have been defeated. With France. Alright. What's the next one? Let's go to... If you haven't seen our fan projects page, that's a new page we have on our website, and you can link to these places. Yeah, the events were pretty tough there. I don't think we played badly. The next one is Habsburg. Here's the link, direct link for that analysis. And day 2, Habsburg, level 6. Okay, let's have a look at the page here. Hesburg, Livestock Colony, Multi-Spirit. The number one spirit is Fractured Days Split the Sky. And at 51% level 6, and the lowest percentage is Grinning Trickster at 16.3%. Yikes. This is not looking good already. Overall, the win rate on level 6 is 32.3%, which is way lower than France. Francis was like 50.1%, right? Win rate. So, also not expecting to win this game. Habsburg has the overkill damage, and actually in the next update, this language about overkill is going to be in the game. Track how many blight come off the blight card in Ravages that do 6 plus overkill. If the number ever exceeds players, the invaders win. And the escalation. After exploring in each board with 4 or fewer blight, add a town to land without town blight. Each board with 2 or fewer, do so again. Alright, and level 1. After building, they gather towns. During setup, we add more stuff. When they build cities in inland, they build towns instead. We take out a stage 1 card. We have durable towns in lands without blight. We have the Wave of Immigration under the top 5 invader cards, which adds a bunch of buildings. And then they do +2 damage if any adjacent lands have town. This is hard. This is really hard. But Fractured Days is supposedly the most winningful spirit here. We're gonna go and put on this spacey background for Fractured Days. I guess that's more of a Starlight background, but I like it for Fractured Days too. These are our days that never were. Hopefully one of them says you win. Blazing Windmill is pretty good. Kills a lot of towns if there's blight in the land. That would be good with Wildfire, right? Add the blight, kill all the towns, do more damage. Okay, an innocent looking start. They're in the wetlands. So in our days that never were, Unearth the Beast of Wrathful Stone, trees radiate, paralyzing fright, inspire the release, entwine power, blazing renewal, and some minor powers. Here's where you can make your whole game plan and just do everything. I don't know if I'm good enough to do that. And Trickster could try, see what happens here. The problem is, like, Habsburg just, like, pulls in another town and then does extra damage because there's towns around. This land, there actually might not be towns around, so this town is going to go here. There isn't a town next door for this, which is actually really lucky. If we can stop this build, it's actually totally stopped. Yeah, there's not going to be extra towns, so we're not getting bonus damage. We could do we have a defend card in our thing? We do. One of the nice combos you can do is put a defend on a land and then blur the Arc of Years. So here they would build and then ravage, build and then ravage, and then you use the Han to, like, blow them up. So we could do that here. We do have this blighted land, which is a problem. I think when they're gonna get the +2 damage when they ravage, right? When they build, do they? This is the normal build step. Okay, so but they are going to have +2 damage, which is okay because we're gonna have defend 4 if we do this thing. So this is what we can do this without and still be able to undo. We're gonna grab that, and we need to get to 2 card plays. I don't know that we can get to 2 card plays and have enough energy. I don't think if we need a free defend, I think, to do this. Maybe we have to get a power card this way. Because we have to get time to get up to 2 card plays, but then we only have 1 energy and we can't afford to do both of those things. That doesn't actually work, does it? Like, the math doesn't math. If we did this, and we found a free defend card, it could work. Or even a cost 1 defend card. I don't know if it's super worth trying to do that. This is free, but it doesn't defend enough, right? It does isolate the land, so then they don't get the damage boost. So actually, this could work, right? Because it isolates the land, they don't get the damage boost. The defend 2 is enough. I'm going to move a presence to the other board. For reasons of 4 times sideways. So we only need the 1 energy now. We need the 2 card plays. Increase grade 8 is great with blur. Yeah, if we could. Because it stops the build action too, right? That's part of it. Yeah. Stops the first one. So if we blur Roiling Bog, we get free reclaim, sure. So we still have our Sacred Site, we can use that here, and we blur. They build, it's 3 damage because they don't get a boost. The 2 Dahan kill the town. We add another Dahan, and then it happens again. That's pretty good. And it's isolated, so they don't gather the town in. So actually, oh yeah, 1 Dahan doesn't participate. But then on the next ravage, we have more Dahan. So is that not going to work because they're then going to have a city? Yeah, 1 Dahan not participating, that ruins it, right? I think that mixes it up. That messes it up. Because the 1 Dahan not participating means the town doesn't die. So then on the next cycle, they build a city, and then it's too much damage. Okay, this is not working. It's almost working, but not quite. Bling bling. So probably I want to do this and see what I get. I don't think there's like a slam dunk card here then. Oh right, doesn't build city 2 more towns. Yeah, well, it builds enough. It builds enough to cause problems. So. But if I get a power card that's a free defend, it could work, right? So we didn't get that. That's fine. We can't go back now. We have locked in. Gift of Living Energy is interesting. We could give a whole bunch of energy to Trickster. Trickster already has the Get Energy button, though. We don't love the elements on most of these. Like, most of them have 1 element we want, but not enough. And click that. And let's grab Blood Draws Predators as the other card. It's my backup plan. So if I make another Sacred Site, we give more energy. Is that the card we're playing this turn, though? And also, what are we doing this turn now? Giving energy. We just, like, make you play a bunch of major powers and give you lots of energy? Is that that's the play? We could do that. We could try to clear up. The problem is there's a lot of stuff there. We could use Incite the Mob here to kill one of the towns. Problem is there's too much stuff. We probably want to use it there. No, Incite the Mob doesn't do enough. I want to see if we get a card that stops the build. Right? Let's gain a power card here. This stops the build. Okay. Gather, push one explorer, isolate target land. Also stops this town coming in, but we kind of want the town to come in. Maybe. If that's going to be... no, we don't want, because they're already doing 8 damage there. Oh, they're only doing 8 damage, yeah, because of that bonus. But, yeah. Ugh. Why is Habsburg 6 so tough? Push Dahan from one of your lands. Does that... If there were more Dahan adjacent to this, I could get more Dahan in here. My old plan could work, but I already went past it. Let's go here and send this to Han. Somewhere more useful. Does that help with this? No. I could just like add a bunch of Dahan in places. That's a thing I can do. So we can stop this build. Or stop this build, which also stops the Ravage. I think we want to add Strife so that they don't get an overkill. So we do bring that town into here, or we let them gather the town in there. So we isolate this land, I guess, or some other land. We can isolate some other land, but they won't explore, I guess. Something like that. And what are you doing? You get just giving energy. I think we're just giving energy. We can absolute stasis one of the lands here if we can't figure out what to do. Let's just get time this turn. Let's just bank some energy. For everyone, and then do some. Need a sacred site. Okay, thank you for the reminder. Game. Reminder that I programmed. Working. I need a sacred site, so I guess I'm doing that. I guess we won't need a Dahan here. But where? Just buddy them up. Two card. Yeah, strike one of them. Strike the city. So problem is if we isolate the land and gather the guy in, then it doesn't matter if they explore. So I guess it's one less explorer on the board totally. Have 3 energy. We're gonna turn you into a major power machine, I guess. And maybe you can then like repeat them and stuff like that. or do funny things. I guess I can still allow that town to come by doing this. That's still gonna be, that's too much. I don't want more stuff in there though. That's gonna be still, they already have yeah, I guess it's possible with this stripe that it's not too much damage. Okay, I'm in here. So we want to allow this to gather. And can turn on the thing. You can go. Consolidate. Yeah, that actually does help because then this doesn't have an adjacent town during the ravage. Actually strife more. We actually do enough. Maybe with this, it could do more. So there's a chance. There's a chance that if we actually hit the thing, then we add our own blight here and kill both towns. Or nothing happens. Those are the two options. So one of these, I guess we could also, if that works out, then we can pour time sideways. And have no ravages here. And have double ravages here. Oh, double ravage is not good because the stripes go away. So that's not a good idea. But we can at least absolute stasis this one or something like that. Can we actually do our trees radiate now? We got a bunch of energy. Defense 6. They would build two. They would build 2 towns. The defense 6 wouldn't be enough. Ugh. We could afford it. Oh, tree stops the first build. Yeah, okay. Tree stops the first build. So they ravage, which kills one of the towns. And then defense 6 will be enough for the next ravage. Okay. Do we end up... We can math out what happens. So first build is stopped. We're not going to get damage, probably. Actually, if we have a sun, we are going to get the damage. We're going to get the damage off the hop. We're going to... No, we don't have to. We don't have the plant. We wanted the plant. Almost. That was really close. But so... Tree stops the build. You're right, Gracie. Pause. And they ravage with 5 damage against defense 6. No damage. 1 town gets killed. We add a Dahan. We'll leave the Dahan there. And they build 2 towns, so there's 3 towns. There's 1 damage through. There's 3 Dahan, so they kill one of the towns and the explorer. So the defense 6 is still going to be enough for the real ravage that happens later. Okay, and then but then we can't stop this. Maybe that just happens. That maybe we accept the cascade because we want blight because Habsburg. Yeah, I mean, having 3 blight on the board means they escalate less. So, sure. Accepted. Okay. And it's not a lost condition build, so we can put a blight in here and make that town vulnerable. We're gonna get these radiate. And we're gonna forget. Oh, that has the plant we want. Are we actually gonna use this? Maybe. It does let us get stage 1 cards again, which is nice. I feel like we're gonna want those. This is fine. We used it. We got the energy. So we have enough energy this turn. We just have to get to 2 card plays, actually. We have to spend all our time doing that. And now we can move a presence. I feel like I want this one to come down here. And this, and this. We get to reclaim a power card from our discarded or played cards. One of us. If you got Entwined Power, that would unlock a lot of stuff over here. Entwined Power, Elemental Boon. We can go 3 card plays. So what are we going to do? We're going to Arson here, and maybe something happens. If we just play all our cards, we get to, like, see what happens on a land. I think we gain a minor power, and if we get something useful, might be good. So, like Elemental Boon. Spur on with Words of Fire also. That's real good. That does... We would need to have our Sacred Site by there. That does stop this Cascade, but like we said, maybe we were okay with the Cascade. If we took Elemental Boon, we can threshold this and have all of our innates. Like we take Moon, Air, Plant. You can stop a bill with this, but it's not that useful against this adversary. Non-Root Biter's actually low-key good against Habsburg. Use a slow power now. That's actually pretty good with Incite the Mob right now. Reclaim, play a power card. Yeah, those are all. I could use that on myself. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. We're gonna play 3. And where do we want somewhere for this? I'm gonna get in here. This is probably just gonna blight, right? They're gonna put a bunch of towns there. Here's a land where we could actually maybe do something. I guess here is good too. 1 invader and 1 Dahan deal damage to each other. That works in both places. Go up here. Elemental Boon, Arson, and Incite the Mob. We're probably going to get to play Unexpected Tigers also, which does get us, yeah, the deal damage to each other and add, not the add strength though. Oh, we're going to get air. Yeah, we're going to have a lot. This is going to be good. All right. Moon, air, plant. We get full, let's see what happens. We get full this, we get full all of this. And I can also reuse this power several times. Amazing. Let's do this thing we were gonna do. Damage. Blur. Leave the Dahan. Repeat. You end up with one town. And we can move 2 Dahan out to go on some adventures, because those 2 Dahan will kill that last town. Amazing. Plus generated some fear. We're likely to get a fear card now. Alright. I think we want to do this first, and we're kind of hopeful that we get Blight. Because then... I hope we see what happens here first. How does this work? Resolve a slow power now, reclaim a power card, play a power card, but then I can do it again. I have 4 times, so I can use it several times. We could actually get back this and like gather this guy out into here. Hello, cutie goat. Yeah, playing spirits you've never played when you're brain tired is not the best idea. So we could slip and like, oh, I don't have energy to play set them on an ever-twisting trail, but we could impersonate authority. I think doing this first and then maybe this blights gives us more things. Also, if we do this, we get a card to our hand and energy. Ooh. So fun. Okay, so let's do this first, because then the damage might do more. I feel like doing this first is best. It has fire. Sweet. Which means, actually, we can... I don't want to kill the explorers. I actually want to use Incite the Mob. So, 1 damage to you. 1 damage to you. Right? Because then Incite the Mob can kill everybody. So I'm gonna do... Oh, I thought I was gonna get... I might get more elements if I... Yeah, I don't actually... If I play Unexpected Tigers, I get fire for this. So many things I could do. So this Ravage is actually going to get solved by this. I can use this power like later on too. So, and I can also use it on myself to play something else. Okay, I'm going to do this. He kills everyone else. I want to get probably Ever-Twisting Trail. Yeah. Actually, there's no town to gather too, so we just pull that guy. He's done. I think we see what happens there first. Grab that, play that. Now we have this. So I want to see what happens here, and maybe like that explorer dies or whatever, right? Otherwise we can pull him in there. Oh, I can't reach that spot. It's pretty risky to do it here. It could be defense 6 though. I'm gonna risk it. Defend 4. That's actually enough. And let's grab it. I'm gonna forget this because I want to play it now. I could resolve unexpected tigers. One fear if invaders are present together, one beast do so, otherwise I think I want to add a beast, right? Put a beast in here. Sea monsters. Always be hedging for sea monsters. Reclaim a card. Yeah, I could reclaim a card to then play again, but I want to play this. I think I don't want to reclaim. Keep my elements. I want to play this. Stop this build. Awesome. I have the elements for... I kind of want to save this for the next turn, but oh, the problem is the town damage won't do anything. We can stop the build. They're still going to gather a town, but at least then there's only... it's one less town, right? Versus if I do the slow phase here, town's just going to heal it back. So I think we do that. And let's leave the beast. Alright, we can do this again, but I don't know that there's a point. We've already used our slow powers. I could do past returns again, but I want to save that for... I can't actually afford that right now. Anyway, I want to save it for when there's a... for the discard pile. I think we finish. We end up with no blight. And 2 towns built here, that's it. And they gather a town into here. And they don't... Yeah, pretty good setup. Okay. Pending the event. Okay. We actually have 6 moon right now on turn 2 because of elemental boon and other things. So yeah, I think we are clicking transmute the worst. Add disease to align with both. Deal damage. 2 Dahan amongst lands gains energy. Everyone gets energy? Yeah, everyone gets energy. Transmute the worst. So we can just discard a card. We're not going to get to afford past returns again, I think. I guess we could do it next turn. These poor times... Again, poor time sideways isn't great because we haven't, like, totally solved one board or whatever. Maybe we discard poor time sideways. I feel like there's more of a chance we play that next turn, so. And sea monsters. I guess maybe here's okay too, because sea monsters works on wetlands, and we use this, right? Yeah. I'm gonna put this in here. Oh, actually, we can not add disease if we don't want to. It would be in this back corner, so it's not even a big deal. Let's just not do it. Free energy. Push up to 2 explorers from an inland land. That's one less guy in here, I guess. And one less guy in here. That might matter for the Ravage. Put him in with the Beast. Put this guy in with the Beast. Beast might kill him. Nice. And exploring. Sorry, they're building. Oh, right, this is because of the gathering. Oops, just asking me about that. Oh, yeah, Confounding Mist is sending a guy, so go in with the Beast. And we're adding towns to land without town or blight. I guess just in lands where nothing is happening, hopefully. So not... Yeah, the problem is these ravages, if there's a town adjacent, there's plus damage. Hang on. So... do we want to maybe put... this town like here, because then it won't be adjacent to those lands to give damage boost. Like if we push this town in here and then absolute stasis it or something, then I don't know that we can push the town fast, but the damage boost thing is really annoying. Isolates are very strong. We're gonna have a Ravage here, which is probably Blight, and this is, I mean, potentially Blight. This one is like, maybe we can solve it, right? Right now it's 4. I don't know that putting a thing in here really changes it, because this town's gonna be adjacent. No matter, like, yeah, I don't think it's actually gonna matter, so let's put it in there. It's at least not adjacent to wetlands. Now, all the candidates here are less good. Like, putting it in these jungles increases the damage here, right? I'm gonna put it there. And I have to keep putting it, right? Because we don't have enough. We're just having to add more. There's no good options. I mean, there's definitely worse options. So I think not having plus damage here is good, because it's right now it's not a loss condition. So I'm a little more okay with letting it go. So we can bury a stage 2 card if we want. Or look at the event deck. That's all we got. So we have the full thing. We can put the card on the bottom of the deck. I feel like making the wave of immigration happen faster is not a good thing. So I think knowing what's coming in the invader deck is pretty useful. And also we have this. So I don't think we're going to bury it, but we can look. I think it's more useful to look. Oh, I mean, looking at the event deck is also good. And if it's like something really bad, maybe I'm talking myself into the event deck. Okay, event deck. Missionaries arrive. We probably don't want this, right? External ravaged cities deal +3 damage. There's only one city. We would get to add a disease. It makes this a lost condition. I mean, this is already a lost condition ravage, right? Because of the plus. Each beast destroys explorer actually works out pretty good. We would need to pay with sun. Which we do have sun, that's a thing that we do. I mean, it might not be this turn, it might be the following turn. So it's not actually a for sure thing. I think out of all the events, this one's pretty okay for our team here, so let's keep it around. There aren't a lot of cities with Habsburg, so having them do +3 damage isn't a big deal, and it adds disease. It could add disease here. Makes absolute stasis here a little less good. So we could defend here. Yeah, paralyzing fright, huh? So what are we doing here? Probably reclaim, right? We need some cards. Reclaim and have enough cheap cards to... We don't really have cheap cards. We might need to do click the gain energy button. Move a presence. Do we want to be in here? It depends on if we're going to get to add strife there. Doesn't it? We just have to get 3 air, right? So I think we can strife that guy. Where else do we want to move presence? They're actually not doing anything back here. That's like pocketed. That's really good, actually. They're not even getting together a town there. And we have defend 4 here. In theory, we could defend this. It's only 6. We could try arson here and defend. It might not work though, right? think it's better to just let that blight. Daylight savings! Well, don't worry. The time zone where I live is not going to change. Though I guess if we're on Eastern time, I'm going to have to change it. Eastern time changes. Where are we moving presents? That's the question. I don't think we're probably playing this. So we probably don't need a sacred site. So going into this land might be good. It's not really necessary though, right? What if we just do this? Just to reach a little further. We actually, if we had gone there, we can get another Dahan here and kill this town. That's pretty okay. Or I even could have gone there, but actually maybe doing the other thing is better because there's a whole bunch of Dahan back here that aren't really getting used. It means that this probably doesn't... I guess I can use it here. Maybe we can add strife and something there. We want to defend. And I don't think it's worth doing that here because we're going to defend here. I think it's just going to be absolute stasis here, probably. We could do incite the mob, and if we get one more air, then we can add strife and, like, do stuff. So, we could have gone in here, but I think getting the extra Dahan there is worthwhile. And either Elemental Boon or something. Let's see what you're doing. So, are we getting something from here? We could do past returns to put a wetlands. Getting wetlands explorer back is good. There's no escalation, and this land is still pocketed, even though wetlands is coming up again. Maybe we save absolute stasis for next turn, where we get if we get 2 wetlands in a row. I feel like we can deal with stuff if wetlands comes back up. So if we want to play that, we don't want to play absolute stasis. Maybe we want to get a card out of here. Your destroyed presence. Not right now. Blooddraft predators, elusive ambushes. Can we stop one of these city builds, double town builds? Haunts and Embers is such a way. Kills a presence. Or Here There Be Monsters, plus going fast. Is a way to do that. I don't think we are getting... I guess we could, like, paralyzing fright. That's an option. We get take plus energies. This costs 0, but also 2 energy, which you could pay for if you had to. I think we are short moon. We want to do Hillary monsters fast. But it would be good here. And it's not too expensive. Let's see how that works out. And the other elements are good. And we could either, yeah, I think one time like that. And like a bunch of energy. This is going to cost 2 time. And it's going to cost no time to use this first. So we bank some energy for majors. Give you one more moon. And sure, sun and air, why not? Like and we get to resolve this. We get to... We don't have any strife. Oh, we get to add strife. So we could... Yeah, okay. We're going to get to do that, like, in the land where we are. I think. So, honestly... It's going to be better to have presence in here than to have one more Dahan here, right? So, I'm going to undo this again, because we can incite the mob here to actually do a good chunk of damage instead. We'll still defend this, and maybe something happens, but maybe we get a Dahan some other way. We'll put a Dahan here. But, like, we can strafe the city and with our innate here and incite the mob. We'll kill the town and the explorer, so I think that's going to be worthwhile. Especially because Wetlands is coming back again in a second. So, Elemental Boon, Moon, Sun, Air. And this has to be fast, but that's okay. We can use it right there. We also get this, so... I can just pay the... Yeah, I have 1,000,000 energy, so... Let's do this. 1,000,000 energy. The Wetlands is now top of the deck. We could see what happens, like, here, maybe? I mean, before doing that, we can slip. This pushes, right? I guess we push it, like... I could also reclaim a card and play it, huh? Like, Trees Radiate. And do damage and stop this blight too. What am I talking myself into? So many foolish things you can do. I don't have that much time left though, so... I get fear. Ground trees radiate? I didn't get the plant, so I don't get the damage. It's actually not going to be... It'll stop the loss condition blight. We don't want to double up. Is there a blur that makes sense? I don't think so. I mean, we could do this twice. Actually, yeah, because they're going to gather a town here. Why don't we do this? Just play this again. Oh, we didn't get the play the card again. Because we took it out. Ah, yeah, okay. We lost the elements. Reclaiming it. But if we reclaim something that has those elements, it's the air that is the thing. We could get Here the Monsters back again. But they are going to explore there, so they're still going to have damage there, so it's not really the best. Does Fractured Days support daylight savings? Certainly. I think getting this back is probably the best thing. I don't think we want to play it, though. I don't think we want to play Absolute Stasis either. We want you to play another card and get more... do more things. I think let's do this. And we could do it here and maybe they don't build here. Okay. I don't think paying to deal damage makes any sense. I don't know that I want this compared to what I have already. I guess I could forget Unexpected Tigers. It is free, though. It's nice to have free cards. I mean, I'm never gonna... This is gonna be a card I forget for another use of this, basically, right? So, okay. For the energy. And the question is, are we going to slip the flow of time? We can add an extra strife. I think strifing this guy is not a bad idea. We could have done that here and stopped the loss condition blight. I wonder how worth is this to stop the loss condition blight? It can only happen 3 times. But they might get plus damage on this Ravage, right? So even like trying to stop it here might not even work. I could strife the city. That would be how it works, but I'm gonna just take the chance, I think. I think we're just done. Add city. Wow. Okay. Well, so definitely. So next time is missionaries. Also, there's another way we're stopping this unless we absolute stasis. Add disease. Well. Clever cooperation. This might do something. It certainly can't stop Oh, we could kill a city, which brings it down to 8. And we can kill the... Yeah, we can stop the loss condition at the cost of 2 presents. By doing 4 damage here, we can get this down to 7. That can't be worth it, though. What else would we do? We could send presents here and knock this city down to 1, and then this guy gets to kill a city and an explorer, or a city and a town. That's pretty good. And then we can kill this town. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, add strength. Okay. This can actually stop the loss condition. I think that's a worthwhile endeavor. Now it's just a regular blight. Regular old blight. Lucky fear card. Alright, we got 2 towns. This was disease. And we gathered town, probably from this land. I guess it doesn't matter. Whatever, it doesn't matter. And wetlands, of course. But this land continues to be golden. Imagine we could kill these 3 guys and then this what we pocketed too. That would be really nice, but oh yeah, there was no town for it to gather. This is amazing. Look at this. And it's striped. We get a couple Dahan in here, they don't build. Well, that we get a couple Dahan, but so we know the top card of the event deck right now is Missionaries Arrive, where cities do plus damage, which doesn't matter because he's striped. I'm just gonna look it up on sick. If we do the sun part, of course, add disease, which is fine, actually good. 2 fear per player, and each beast destroys an explorer. Yeah, like, that's all good. I think we're happy with the event deck. So we want to look at the invader deck, which should not actually reveal this, right? We can shuffle between these 2 cards. If we like push that down, then this would happen. Which, I mean, it is going to come, so let's see what the card is, and then we can decide, right? Like, obviously this is going to happen, so whether it happens now or later, we can control it now. So if it happened now, we would put a city on one of these lands that it doesn't really matter, and we put 3 towns to 3 inlands with fewest blight. So here, here, and here, which is a problem because one of them gathers into there on the build. And then here it would go this, this, and this, which makes this ravage pretty big. But I mean, that's going to happen next turn anyway in the same spots. So it's probably better that we do it now. So coastal lands. I feel like putting that in the bottom of the deck is fine. Coastals are kind of okay. This board, coastal lands are mostly empty. It means this land would come back again. Honestly, that's fine. I think yeah. I mean, we don't know what's next, but... Question is, would we rather have the wave of immigration now or later? I don't think it actually changes a whole lot. It's better that we keep that back wetland pocketed, though, so let's do that. So this is coastal, or we don't even know what things are because this is the discard too. So coastal, sands, jungle, or mountain. But 50% chance it's coastal and less chance it's the other things. Alright, we have a mini ravage here. This one's solved. And we have a big ravage here. 9 damage. Which we could... Yeah, that's a good candidate for stasis, right? And we are going to... Like, this is going to happen this turn. So if we stasis, it would be a good turn for 4 times sideways also, potentially. I don't know if it's that important, but this wetland's doing nothing twice, 4 times. This land, I would love to repeat this. We have Power Storm. We never ended up getting a major for you. We thought that might be what we did, but then we just decided to play a lot of small cards. Probably you don't want to reclaim, right? That elemental boon has been clutched, though. This is actually just 3 damage. Oh, it's 5. Where's the other town? Oh, this guy. What are we doing? 5 energy. We could go grab Paralyzing Fright. And almost get the threshold for extra fear. Like, literally, Paralyzing Fright, Absolute Stasis solves these 2 lands this whole turn. Like, double solves them. This land doesn't, it just doesn't do anything. If we can put Dahan in there, even better. So yeah, I kind of want... I want more energy, but I can't get to more energy for a couple turns. I mean, I can always click this button, but right now I can't play my 3 cards unless I click this. Are these the 3 cards I want to play? Like, I don't really want to play this. I don't know that I want this either. Like, this, all these explorers in lands with beasts are getting killed. There's 1 each or whatever, but still. I would love to be able to, like, empty this land. It has Blight, which makes it a little harder, easier / harder. Unearth a Beast would be really good here, also. What's our odds of thresholding that? with what we have. Like, not great, but we have Elemental Boon. We have Here the Bee Monsters. That helps. Needs Earth and Mountain. Or Earth and Animal a lot. I don't know that we can threshold it very easily. We also have the problem that, like, next turn Ravage is still going to exist. Even if we're blocking things this turn, that's not a guarantee. So we kind of, I think it's add presence, gain energy, work our way to energy per turn. It's kind of handicapping us not having enough energy per turn. And what do we get for elements if we do that? We do get, let's see what happens. And that's it. It's not great. And over here, we could reclaim, but I think the idea is paralyzing fright. And maybe next turn it's just like we do the same thing again. I want to get more Dahan in here. Maybe getting one Dahan and maybe we get one damage from the Dahan from this. What could happen? We could kill the city. Possible. Oh, we could actually kill the city with this. We just need a sacred site, and we have a sacred site. Okay, so that city is dead. They might build a town, but the city's dead. So we're clicking this, and we're getting paralyzing fright. I guess the other option would be to reclaim and grab Pour Time Sideways, but that costs a lot of time. And I think what we're doing now is probably just as good. I have to forget a card. Probably this. And we need a Sacred Site range 1. The only... Oh, we need Sacred Site range 2 for that, yeah. So we want to have our Sacred Site probably here. Because Coastal Land's coming up, we want to be close to things. So this is Paralyzing Fight, and this is Absolute Stasis. And probably we can get a little time. And a little energy. Cool. No innates. But 2 sun, and we can... We'll discard that for the event and reclaim next turn, I think. And you are playing a sun, so that helps. We're clicking this, and we're clicking this. We get a moon, it doesn't do anything. I want to get Dahan in there, so let's go down here. And I have Enthusiastic Arson, and I think I want to hit it here because it lets us kill a bunch of towns and potentially kill towns. It might just do nothing. Without any risk. And then we stasis it after. I wonder if... I can't hit that. There's a good spot for... Ever Twisting Trail. Like, I want him to get killed. I I guess we can isolate this land, and then if the coastal card comes up, they don't come in. This is stasis, so isolate doesn't do anything. Let's just bring you here. Makes this land empty. We also have let's see what happens. Which I think I probably want to play on here after I see what happens there. Well, seeing what happens. I could use it here. And maybe we don't have to stasis or paralysm right there. But we're probably going to anyways, right? So let's do this here first, and maybe we get a blight there. It has fire. Nice, so that's 2 towns down. Interesting. So now, like, we could get a defend for this. Like, that's possible. We could... move it on. I mean, I think this is a good land for this to go on, so let's do it. And sure, that's not adjacent. 3 damage. Okay. Also, this land is solved and doesn't, and we want it to ravage. So absolute stasis is gonna go somewhere else. And let's forget a card. This is not doing us any favors. I guess that one energy is doing something for us. So let's forget Confounding Mists. And I can pay to add another strife. So actually this is solved. Oh, except I'll put it on this guy. What if everything is just getting solved? So the thing is, like, this guy's dead. This guy's not dead. But it's fine, because he's going to get killed by... And then we'll be able to... Just going to be a single town there. So, like, should stasis go here? I don't mind this, like, we get to add disease, actually, with the event, too. So the disease can go here, they're not going to build. I think this Paralyzing Fright still goes here. And the question is, where does the stasis go? I think it's probably here. We could have stasis this instead. That's the question. Which is better? I think, actually, stasising this is better because then they don't explore these. It's effectively an isolate too, right? Whereas, well, they do explore there, but this specific sand. Because Paralyzing Fright does a little bit less. And basically this is just like stop and explore. So we know this is going to be coastal or mountain jungle sands, not wetlands. So we're going to stop and explore, it would probably be here, right? One less thing in this place. Or we could, I mean, stop here. Honestly, what does it matter if they explore there? If they explore this jungle, that's more annoying, right? It's pretty weird to be clicking that. But, like, we're unexpectedly, like, that arson was really good. And this was excellent. Like, those 2 cards on that land was a bit of a bonus. So yeah, if we're gonna stop and explore, it's here, right? They're still gonna escalate into it, but, you know, I don't know, whatever. I think that's still good. Curse the tongues. So actually we can both discard. And you can pay 1 energy. And we can, now we can add disease to both of the, just to this one twice, because it's going to get used up. Wish we had 2 more fear. We don't get to kill that explorer. I guess that was one downside of spacing there. But... And they would have defended. Not quite, but... Remove an explorer from land with the haunt. Okay. Oh, this is for the, yeah, for pulling guys in. Yeah, his strife is actually helpful, because now that Ravage is also solved. And it's mountains. So coastal is the one coming up after the wave of immigration. But first we have escalation. Okay. There's no one in here. There is gonna be a guy in there, right? Because of this. So that's just the fewest blight, not the fewest. So we can choose to add, to not add to this land. So we have to add a city. And the 3 towns, we're just going to not pick the wetland. Keep that wetland blank. And let's not add this to the mountain. Not add it to the mountain. I think, yeah, just put it in there. Alright, that was actually, that is very good. And we can now kill this city, I think. Oh, and stop this guy from building for 1 energy. He's going to gather in, but stopping the building is good. Especially because we know coastal's next. Alright, it's time for reclaiming. And I can have more, and I guess, yeah, I might click the more energy button, I don't know. So, we have actually potentially a good turn for Poor Time Sideways. This land, this place could double, and it would be fine, like relatively fine. And then this could do 0. Because this town is going to go away. No Ravage here, no build here. Sure, build a bunch of towns, obviously, but... We have Destroy Presence yet for Blazing Snow? No. We need to get some Destroy Presence. But yeah, it feels like a good turn for Poor Time Sideways. So we want this, we want to put presence from this board to that board. I think it's a good turn for that. It gives us a second to catch our breath here. And we want energy card plays. I get 3-card plays. Is there a shenanigans here with Freeze Radiate? So we're gonna play not that. I guess we could do that. We could get another stage 1 back, but it's mountain. I don't know that we actually want that. Does mean there's no escalation. We did Poor Time. That costs 1. If we want to do that and Trees Radiate, it would cost 5. So we need energy, so we can't afford that because we only get 2 time. We're short in energy to do that. I don't think we do that kind of plan. It would be fun. We could probably do it. We don't have enough to Han in the places to do it anyway. We could actually Paralyzing right here. Have the double happen where they're not going to do anything and just block it. I'm okay with that, actually. And actually, if we could have the energy to do that, maybe we can with our innate. So let's do this and see if it works out. So 5 energy, Poor Time, Paralyzing Fright. We can get. Oh yeah. How do the elements work? If we instead do this and get. Oh, we need more sun. Sometimes you have to play the cards you don't want in order to then, like, do the things, but we don't actually get to play power cards. We can't get the extra sun this turn. I mean, this isn't terrible. We use up all of our time. We make this a mountain 1. It means this becomes like a really terrible place. They put 2 explorers in here. Actually, we know this coastal turns into a mountain. Actually, that's pretty okay. We know it's not escalating. We know it's coastal. So and then we end up with basically 3 lands to deal with next turn on the Ravage. And maybe you can do something. I don't know. I mean, we're obviously reclaiming cards here. I don't think Elemental Boon does a lot here. So what are you doing? We could just, like, let them fill this all up and then, like, block it again with Paralyzing Fright and stuff. But we have other lands that we need to be blocking too. I guess we have 2 blocks, so we just block the 2 lands with the two things we have for that. And so let's get more Dahan into this. And I think we need to get energy. We could get 2 energy with 3 plays. I don't want to play. So that would mean we have to play Territorial Strife, which is fine. And then maybe it's Incite the Mob and maybe Arson. Arson here. I feel like getting we might want to get presence in here to have it. Arson gives us the elements we need for see what happens as well. So if we do this, does this work? That, and that gets us damage to each other, which doesn't do anything anywhere. We could do that here if we went in here, just in case the event like turns off strife or stuff gets added there or whatever. It makes it dangerous. I'm not opposed to that. We don't have anything better to do with our time than because we're gonna get to add strife by this, and then use Incite the Mob, so we can like knock down probably this land a bit. It has disease, so and it's gonna knock into buildings, so we can we can end up with a single city, and actually both of them can have strife, so it'd be 2 cities and they're both strifed, and that seems good. Okay, I think we have a plan. So this I don't know for sure yet. Here we want to do that. It's done. See what happens is probably fine here. Maybe they build less or something. But they're not going to build anyway. Could go here, but it doesn't really change anything, does it? These are like sort of gambles that aren't, I don't know if they're even doing anything. Now we're going to do this. Well, maybe, hang on, let's... We're going to be giving up more time, aren't we? So, it doesn't matter. Do this, and... Like, I might potentially add blight here, so it's fine. A little nervous about that, but I don't think there's like a better, like, arson just empties that land if it works, so I'm not like unhappy about that. And yeah, you just have to pay. Alright, so mountain is coming up for exploring, but this is from and to, right? So the board you move from 1 fewer time. So things are happening 0 times here and 2 times here. So they're basically just building a bunch of towns here. I feel like see what happens here first, and then the other one. Alright. Bend 3. Sure. It's actually good. Let's forget this other card that we never wanted. And I'm gonna throw an arson there. It didn't do anything. That's fine. Each board skip a ravage action. It's not gonna do anything. We also got 1 damage per beast. Cool. Do we have any damage for here? Why am I picking these guys first? I don't know. So... yeah, we're not gonna... we may as well just kill the explorer here. Why was there more damage? 1 damage per beast. There's 1 beast there. Why aren't we damaging? Oh, because of the double thing. The double thing. 4 times sideways. It's like, why are we not clicking over here? There's a good reason for that. The game is working right. 1 fear if any Dahan are in boards. They are. That's a fear card. Does this work on fear effects too? Each board, each land actions. Gather and explore into a town, or gather town into a land. Oh, okay. Actually, that kills this town. Totally. So, gather you and die. I mean, he's not... they're doing things 0 times over here, but... I wonder if there's any benefit to doing other things. We're already going to be able to... we're already pulling out of these lands into here. There's enough towns surrounding it that it's not going to matter. I think getting you out of there is useful. So. Alright, we got 1 energy. Womp womp. Oh yeah, that guy went there. There was... what was... why can't I go back? Oh, because that fear card was resolved. I should have gathered this guy. I don't think I could have gathered him. But if I could have gathered him, that would have been good. Then he wouldn't have gone there. That's fine. It means there could be 1 less town in here. There's, what, 12 towns in? No. 8 towns in there. And then we get the double explorer too. Well, we're gonna skip that land, so, you know. I can't reach this land. Whoops. Okay. Well, that was my plan. New plan. Strike this guy. Oh, but I can't. I can't add strife there. This plan sucks. Okay. But I still can't reach that land, right? I still can't reach it. That's not what I wanted. It's not the end of the world. I was gonna probably have to skip it, but I was like, oh, that's a cool solve for that land. So finally, my plan is not as good as I thought. Womp womp. We're going to look at the top cards. I don't know if honestly it matters what's the top of the invader deck. It's 2 land types. Do we want it to be mountain again? Maybe, I guess we just keep skipping. But it's obviously going to be something else. I think we look at the event deck and try to see what the event deck tells us. Promising farmland. I mean, we can't vary it. So we are currently on Healthy Island. So it would be this. Next turn would probably be this. So that's fun. Add Beast and defend per Dawn. Right. I gotta take a quick break. I'll be right back. Returned. This game is going better than the France game because it doesn't have that. I mean, it has a scary loss condition, but right now we lose, right? Because it's track how many blight, and there's 2 cascades that are going to do 8+ damage. So right now we would lose, assuming we do nothing, but we aren't going to do nothing. Currently, so we have 2 ravages, or we have 2 bad ravages. This one is small. We could actually defend it with this card. So that's pretty good. So you don't think you need to reclaim. I wish I had put presence here or here, and been able to do the thing, but it's fine. So we're gonna do Paralyzing Fright, Absolute Stasis, I think, which means we need to play 2 cards and have enough energy. So I think doing this gets us that, maybe. If we click here, we get to not have enough. Oh, we do have just enough energy to play those 2 cards. Plus adding a presence is helpful. And we're short 1 earth for the threshold, which means we could potentially do something. We also blur the Arc of Years, which is kind of an interesting combination with these cards because you can skip, you can use it with this and they don't actually ravage, and you just add Dahan, and I don't know. Interesting. But, alright, so what are you going to do? You actually still can't afford to play your cards all the time. Ah, why are you so poor? We could gain a new power card. We could get an any. I mean, we're playing Elemental Boon. I think we probably want to use... I don't want to gather an Explorer here. I guess we could gather an Explorer and he probably kills himself, and then they don't... He doesn't kill himself, though. Well, he does because of Isolate. I just don't want them to threaten this land again next turn. Means we have to have a Sacred Site there. To do that there. But I think that's the place that we would set them with. We could also gain a power card and maybe we get a free card and we play it instead of that. We could also get a major and +3 energy. Those are things. These are things we could do. Yeah, I think blocking this land from ravaging next turn is worthwhile. We still are dealing with these other lands. So that would be doing this. Take the any. We may as well, like... Wait, let's put a Dahan in here and maybe the Dahan deal damage or whatever. Like, the thing. And gain energy. And play our cards. Next turn, and we have to pay for the reclaim next turn as well, so... That solves that. Solves that. Doesn't solve... This is either skip or... I think this is a skip, so we save the disease and the strife. And then... I mean, it's the same, right? If we skip it, then... No, it's the same thing. It's all the same thing whether it's Absolute Stasis or skipped. Because they're not going to be pulling towns out of it in any case. So for Fractured Days, it's a question of we are spending 5 energy, and so I think I want to do this. If we did this, we could get a card from here. But I don't know what that would be that does anything right now. Blazing Renewal would be awesome if we had Destroyed Presence and we're somehow never losing our presence. That's going to happen soon enough. But maybe not today. Oh, you know what? Where I should be moving to Han is here. So they don't build a city. Okay. Updated. So if I get Moon, I can actually get the threshold on this because we're going to use Elemental Boon. We're going to just make sure I add things up before I click here and I can't go back. So by gaining time and adding presence, I can get 2 energy. Yeah, so one of them I have to click 2 card plays, and one of them time. And I have to do... To make a Sacred Site? I do have to make a Sacred Site. No, not yet, but soon. I have to do this. And then I have enough to play those 2 cards, and if I get a free card, I get to play it. If I don't, then I don't. And I think... So let's go back just in case I want to make the Sacred Site here instead. So let's get the power card first. We got a free card. 2 free cards. Lots of options. using this fast, but we're skipping the ravages, so it's not even gonna work. Twin Days is an amazing card to have. I could actually Twin Days Absolute Stasis instead of Paralyzing Fright. It's a lot less fear, but it's way cheaper. And you would get to repeat Elemental Boon, or we could add Badlands. Also very good. Huh. These are good. These are good. And it means we could Paralyzing Fright next turn without reclaiming. These are things that have changed what's going on. What if we could do this? We can't use on lands with Blight. It's part of the problem against Habsburg. Made my decision harder. This has the Earth for Paralyzing Fright, so I don't need to get Earth. With Elemental Boon, I can choose other things. Yeah, I think let's just go with their plan, our original plan. But we're definitely grabbing that for later. Okay. We'll still put presents here. Stick with our plan. Elemental Boon. We don't need that, but we want to get certainly a moon. And we get an air and a fire, we get to see what happens. We can get a card play by playing its cost. If we take sun and air. Too many options. Okay, so we know we want to do this. Let's just do the obvious things. So this guy's gonna die, in theory, and they won't get to explore there if the mountains come up again, so that's good. Stasis and Fright. I can only use this once because I'm out of time. Actually, I couldn't have used Absolute Stasis twice. Probably. Well, maybe. It would have been a time crunch. If something is not going to exist, which one is it going to be? Could you get back and use... You still don't have range to that land. If we give you reclaim a card, you could actually reclaim and play Elemental Boon again. This is a thing. Okay. So moon, sun, and air. I guess air wasn't necessary. You wanted the air, but fine. Oh, but I can't use this twice because of Absolute Stasis. I don't have enough time. Oh no, I could do Elemental Boon, but not like do another thing, like one of those things. But it doesn't really really help to do that. What we could do is get back a card with fire and air, like Incite the Mob or Overly Zevstic Arson. Maybe Incite the Mob and use it here. Can I get Strife in there? I get Strife in here. I can use it slow. I get Strife in here and I use it there, and that lands Sol for the following turn. Okay, that seems okay. We want to see what happens somewhere. Where is something that could see what happens that would actually do anything? Minor powers, like... I guess here, it could have a defend 6, and then we don't necessarily want to skip it, or... Yeah, probably... But it could also add Blight. There's still probably Blight adding powers, yeah, so... I feel like using this on somewhere more safe is probably better. Like maybe here it's not actually safe because then we don't get to do our thing, so let's do it here. Sure. Add Strife. That's a good card. I think this is still really good. This is good too. I think we still want that. I want to keep my cards that add Strife. I guess it's this. Sorry, Arson. We can keep adding Strife over here. Slowly adding Strife. And we can gather Dahan here. So let's stasis here. Right here. Or a million fear. They're level 3, come on. That's how we win the game against Habsburg, is to level 3. Okay, and we're gonna save this for the slow phase. Because this town is gonna get, hopefully, killed. And... yeah. Alright. Warning, I know. Also, I have a free element. I have an any. That could be an animal. Don't let me forget. It's the one that we saw. Okay. Add beast to a land without blight that has town. And this makes more damage if target land has beasts. We're not getting the damage to each other, though. We're just going to have a town that kills 2 explorers, right? So let's add beasts over here. Spend 1 per dawn. Isolate 1 land if... Ooh. Skip all build actions in that land. Well, okay. That changes this a bit. We could skip them building here. But we were sort of happy with them building. power flicker. Hopefully I'm still online. If we were going to isolate a land, what would it be? I guess we only get to isolate one land, so we can't keep our pocket in any case. I guess actually if we isolate this land, they don't explore this jungle either. So if we isolate this land, they don't explore this jungle. So I think those are the two. We end up skipping there and we'll figure out something else to do with it, I think. These are adjacencies for Habsburg. How about you stop asking me? Why we have that defaulting to not asking, if you're wondering. So the first time it's a town. All right, so may as well be here. That's already bad. And here, that's the only place. Oh yeah, 2 jungles here that are not actually getting towns because they're the isolates and the stasis, so cool. And Call to Ferocity could actually either gather Dahan here or push these guys out and they don't build. We have Incite the Mob can actually happen here. Kill a town. That doesn't even kill a town now. No blight. I could just use it here and have one explorer kill the other. That might be like... it's kind of silly, but I think it's my only useful thing to do. I think pushing all these into there stops them building here, right? Totally, so... I guess, like, there's so much strength there that making use of the Dahan here is actually really good. So, I'm gonna change my mind here and gather those 2, and I guess you. We want these Dahan to kill this. We can kill these cities. We're getting like nearer to Terror level 3. That's how we're gonna win. So, all right. Don't add strife. Kill the other guy. That's solved. We just need like defend 5. Basically, here. Oh, I forgot my element. Forgot my element. Give me an animal. Just gathers a beast. But maybe we want the beast. Might make beer or something like that. So I guess we can have a look at the invader deck, or sorry, the event deck again. So gonna be Courage of the Crowd. They don't ravage in lands if there's more than 2 invaders. Ravage actions do plus 2 damage per land. Yikes. So they wouldn't ravage here if this one comes up. 1 damage per beast. Cool. And leave the hostile land. Dahan, run away from Badlands, and disease. So that might come up. We have some pretty horrible ravages still. And we cannot actually afford to paralyzing fright. So we're in the situation of let's defend this. I think with fire in the sky and defend, we can actually defend there. So that's gonna be good. And so we just stasis this one, this horrible land. 19 damage. The reclaim stasis, and I don't know what else. What else are we doing? Let's figure it out. Actually, here is pretty good for a Blur the Arc of Years, isn't it? But we do need to. We can't let us get like two of those. So let's hit reclaim here. Move a presence. Surely I need range to that. This Sacred Site 1. Ooh. Is there a way I can... This is range 1. So I do need to be getting closer to that. Let's do this. And I could, if I defend and isolate, that's enough. I don't have to add. But the problem is I need a Sacred Site to do this isolate. Why do I have so many Sacred Site cards? We could also maybe go fast and just strike everybody. If we actually, yeah, if I add a stripe and I have another energy, problem is I need to somehow have a Sacred Site in range and have energy. Can you let me go fast? That would be cool. If we could do this to add the stripe, that would be great. And we don't get an event that says, at least we 50-50 are not, I have to do this, right? And wow, I am poor. Do I want to play 2 cards or just get a little extra energy and play literally 1 card? No one's getting a fast power now. If I'm playing this, I'm not getting moons. So I think we just play 1 card. Kind of rough. Rough turn. But hopefully, like next turn, these jungles and sands are all empty. They're going to be doing their stupid gather thing. No, they're not, because it's stasis. So, yeah. This board is mostly okay. We're stasising here, and then we can, like, do our other stuff next turn. I think having the extra energy, keeping our cards around for maybe we play a whole bunch of cards. So it's on you, Trickster, to do everything this turn. Which I think means we have to make a Sacred Site. Or go in there? If we go in there, we can add Strife if we play enough, right? But I can't move in there. Okay, add a presence. If I'm in there, can I get... I can't get enough elements. Can I? And still have 1 energy for one more strife, right? Like, I guess that's slow. That doesn't even provide me the air that I need. Like, obviously I can click air. I need 2 air for 0 energy, which I can't get. That doesn't do anything. It's a sacred site. I'm so restricted. We have to make a sacred site. We have to click this. And we have to not spend any more energy so we can strafe both, or we can defend. But actually, I can get more energy from this if I click air. Now I can get 1 more energy. And we put more Dahan in there. More Dahan is more murder. Okay. We also have this to use somewhere. We have this that doesn't do anything. I guess we could kill this guy if we wanted to right now. So if we do the forget power card, we get an energy, we can add an extra strife. That's important because they're going to get +2 damage on the Ravage, right? So we actually, just to be sure, we do want to do that. So let's do that. See what happens here. Maybe it stops this build for us. Can't go back after this. I think that's okay. Add Blight. Wish I used that somewhere where it did something. Whoops. Immediately destroy a presence and remove a town. We have destroyed presence. We still need this sacred site, but we don't need this one. We need that sacred site. So destroy this presence. And we can remove, if we remove a town here, we don't have to pay for the strife, which might be important. It also means that we're building way more towns here, though. Okay, get rid of you. Alright, and I think we can get rid of one of yours. Maybe this one. And have one less town here. This is actually really good against Habsburg. Okay. Probably should have blighted the island. I mean, I didn't know I was going to blight the island. That wasn't intentional. Okay. This is going to kill both cities and a town. Maybe we can get another Dahan in there somehow. Stasis you. And oh, stop this from building. Hey, look. It's not the one that we thought. It's the one from last time. I want to Honda participate real bad. So I'm not clicking I'm clicking display wrath again. If we can afford it. I guess I can discard a bunch of cards. We only need one more. So, is there a world? Yeah, if I use drought here, a world in which I have 3 sun, there is a world. That's like just solves that land. It doesn't, there's no city there, but, or we do it here? Like, yeah. Okay, you can discard Call to Frosty. Hey look, you still had that in your hand. I guess if you had played it, we would have the one. Stray to hunt. Sorry, fellas. I guess you, because that land's gonna be empty. No Dahan around to help here, but push disease to the adjacent land with the most invaders. Oh, we had this before in a way that didn't help us, so but hey, that's good here. Downgrade a town in a coastal land. Downgrade. Nice. We were going to use drought, and we don't have to. I think it still makes sense to. And we can downgrade one of these. We could use drought here. But they're diseased. They're not going to build there, so sort of less important now, isn't it? Let's downgrade you. Yeah, actually, yeah, downgrade these. We have territorial strife, but they'll probably strife this city. Ravage here. So we didn't get the +2 damage. So that one's coming up next turn. What's that event? It's no bravery without numbers, courage of the crowd. It's coming up next turn. I could kill the towns and then they won't gather a town into here. That might be better. But they're still gonna. No, they won't. Then they won't. They also won't have the plus damage. So, yeah, I think I want that. Gather that town away. Even though we're getting close to winning, there's that one city there. All right, Mountain Sands. But here they don't get to look in the sands. So territorial strife could kill 2 explorers or strife. We could add a strife and then this land is all strifed up. I think that seems good. And maybe get some other. Maybe it's this there next turn. It's a jungle. And we wouldn't need to add strife. We have a double sands, so this is not a bad play for paralyzing fright if I could reach it, which I can't. My sacred sites are not next to places. I guess here we get paralyzing fright. I wonder if there's a better spot for territorial strife. I guess it means like we can just ignore that land right now, which is something of value. This is straight up destroy 3 towns, add blight. But it's like, we don't have the best place to use that right now. I think it's good here in the slow phase. Problem is that they got a ravage there first. What are you doing? That is a place that should be defended. Can. Actually, it's a pretty good place for trees radiate, isn't it? Just straight up. If you could see it, which you can't. We could do this or this to get presence close enough. So paralyzing fright, can we get 7 energy? If we do this, we can have 7 energy. Paralyzing fright here. Trees radiate here. That blights. It is 11 damage. I think we discarded the defend 10, right? Oh, that was last game. So defend 10 is still in play. Obviously, you don't want to, like, hold on, hope for that. We could get a major and have 5 energy for it. It is not a bad play. We don't get the threshold either of these. But defend 6 is just enough for this, right? And oh, they're going to get +2 damage. Bravery. They're going to do +2 damage per land. So each of the beast, 1 damage per beast. So this is 4 damage +6 +2 is 8. So unless we do hit this threshold, we don't. So we need elemental boon also to kill enough. Oh, well, actually, the beast is going to kill the explorer, and then they won't ravage there. There have to be more invaders than the current tier levels. We don't actually need to do that. We just need to get them down to 2 invaders per land, and they won't ravage. So that's actually kind of good. So what should we do? How close are we to winning? We are 16 fear, 15 fear, and 1, 2, 3 cities away. Potential 4th city. We have some potential city destructions. I wonder if we can pull this off. So this is actually solved. This is, if we can... They're leaving lands with disease as well. But there aren't lands with disease. If... I wonder if we try to blow this up. I mean, 1 more Dahan in there, it's all we need. Do we have fast Dahan movement in here? And we have 1 damage. Bloodrust Predators. Twin Days. Blazing Renewal. We have Destroyed Presence. Blazing Renewal plus Drought is interesting here. Or like just Blazing Renewal and then they all kill themselves when they add blight. It's kind of interesting. Very expensive though. I don't think that really, and it's also pounds, which we don't care as much about. I don't really see, so them not ravaging there isn't amazing because we want to kill the city. We could throw Blood Draws Predators there. None of these are so exciting. Here, actually, this beast is going to kill that guy and they're not going to ravage, right? It's 1 damage per beast, so we can decide where it goes. But it means they're not going to ravage here unless we want them to. So actually, we could have them target the city, and then they do ravage and the city dies. I really want to threshold this to get a whole fear card and get that much closer. So, Paralyzing Fright here. I mean, we have to get energy from here to do that. So, Paralyzing Fright. And do we want to, like, 4 times sideways or something? I really think so. And they're building here again. It's a gong show. This also makes 3 fear, right? What about, like, the plan of just what we were going to do before? I think it's still pretty good. We're killing cities, we're doing stuff. We get a card from Neverwhere that I don't even know what we're going to get. Can we play 2 cards? Yes. Okay, we have to do 2 cards. Get energy, get energy. Oh, but then we can't afford to play both cards unless we can get to this, which I think we can. Maybe. No? No, because these don't have the right mix of elements to do that. Okay, well, it's just Paralyzing Fright then. Is there a card with Earth on it? Blessing Renewal. Unearth the Beast. There aren't cards with Earth on them. That was the card I discarded. I should have just spent... I don't know if I wanted to spend the energy, but... Oh, why is it complicated? Do we want Gift of Twin Days? No, I don't really want these cards. We could, like, intentionally add Blight and Blazing Renewal if we had both those cards. I don't even know. I don't think I can do all the things that I want because I can't both play 2 cards and have enough energy. Can I get... with Elemental Boon, I can reclaim a card. I can play a power card. So I could do this and reclaim Call to Ferocity or Absolute Stasis, actually, and do that. Absolute Stasis doesn't do anything. So and that gets us the threshold. I just clicked blur because it had all my elements, but it doesn't have to be blur necessarily, I think, does it? Maybe it does. I think it has to be, yeah, it has to be blur. So we do that. We reclaim Call to Ferocity just for the element, basically. Play it. We get the extra fear. We solve that. Blur the Arc of Years. We use somewhere. I don't know where, but... maybe you can put enough strike somewhere, or defend or something like that. What were you gonna do? Get a major and try for something? I think this works on jungles, right? This is interesting, but we are gonna get a sun. We haven't any, so we could hit the Destroy City threshold. But again, we have to, like... I guess I can actually get to +3 energy finally. I'm kind of thinking about clicking the get a major power button, though, and play a major of 4 or less an elemental boon. I'm doing that. It might be not the smartest choice now, but it's what I'm clicking. Okay. We got all majors 4 or less. We could do Smothering Infestation here. It's pretty solid. We could Settle into Hunting Grounds, which makes that event do a lot here. Not other places, but there specifically. 1 damage per beast, and there's a sacred site here, and they're Badlands. And the elements are good for us. It doesn't work in any other land, really, unless we put a presence somewhere. Like we could put a presence here, and then it would kill the city, and they wouldn't ravage. Yeah, I'm leaning towards that, I think. Weave Together is pretty good, too. Especially because we can weave together plus Paralyzing Fright. But... I think it's this one. And... that. Gain energy. So now we actually get to play all our cards. Or whatever cards we want. So... we want an animal. We get the threshold on this. We have a free element, right? We're doing... oh, we don't have a free element. Actually, if we... yeah, we have to give an earth. We don't actually get a free element. But we could actually pass over this back to you, and then you could get the other animal. And take a plant. Push Dahan. Where did the Dahan want to go? Probably here? Where... The Dahan can't go there. They can go from there. Are the Dahan doing anything on the event? They're leaving. Well, go here in case you deal damage or something. Okay. We're getting moon. Done that. We're using this on ourselves. Get this, and then we're gonna play it. I could, yeah, do this differently. I could get a moon here and then give someone a slow power now. We have this. We don't have this, but we could. Oh yeah, you don't have enough energy to. I mean, I don't need the threshold on that. That's just being greedy. So I'm not too worried about it. We can get. Oh yeah, we can actually do a bunch more damage with this because of this. I think we just wipe this land totally. Which is kind of cool. Blur still wasn't really doing anything. We could remove a blight, which is a thing. I guess, do we want to be spending time? I think we want to save our time to have a better turn next turn. Because we could, like, do the slow power now thing and have Call to Ferocity go off and stuff, but I don't think that's really necessary. So, paralyze here. And so is this land getting it wiped already? When I do this, which I may as well do now. This one right now does 4 damage. And then the beast event does 5 damage. So everything in here is dead already. I don't have to, like, do the next part. So I can take a note, but basically I can take an air, see what happens, and get an energy. We can throw that somewhere where they're going to build. Like here. But before we do that, we should do things that might require our presence. Yeah, basically we can either add some Dahan or remove Blight. I'm gonna take a remove Blight, I think. We are finally getting a lost condition Ravage here. Wondering if there's a place that this is so good if I had to defend here. There's a chance that this defends, and then we could blur the Arc of Ears there. There's also a chance that it adds Blight and Cascades. I think we play it a little more safe. Then time to remove another blight. And I can use this slow. I can, if I do it, yeah, I want to do it now because the stripe's going to do it later. I'm going to click the town. And this is going to be the last thing. Gather explorers. Sure. I don't want that card, but and I don't super want drought either. But I want it the other things more. So mainly I wanted the energy. And okay. So we're sitting on 2 blight, but we know that's not going to happen because of the event. So down to 1 blight. I don't think we have anything to do over here. This all dies. Oh yeah, these have beasts too. In each land, push 1 Dahan per Badlands. So we can say these are Badlands so that this guy goes somewhere else. You may as well go here. Maybe get damage per Dahan. Remove 1 town. Cool. Let me get this down. We have another fear card. This might get down to a lower number. Add strife in a land with Dahan, -1 health per strife to a minimum of 1. Well, that doesn't... I guess... If I do this here, we could incite the explorer to kill the town. Or kill the city. That's probably the best thing we can do. Oh no, we can't do that because he needs to have strife. We could do it here. Or we could just throw strife on places that are... This probably makes the most sense just to do this and let them ravage next turn and die. Oh, our first moo! More billions of towns over here. Jungle wetlands. They've been pretty quiet until now. But we are actually 4 fear and 1, 2 cities away. So and there's the fear. Really, like, when the ravage happens, we win, right? We get enough fear and the cities are gone. As long as the event doesn't screw us. Which could easily happen. What about if you guys aren't there? Oh, I could have got more here. By doing this. Just one more fear. But hey, a fear is a fear. Alright. So if we can kill the cities fast, this can kill a city fast. In here. And then that's strafed and the ravage goes and hopefully we win. Let's have a look at the event deck. Be right back. Hello. Yes. Years of little rain. So this is not dangerous for us, I don't think. So 50-50 chance of the event being fine. And more chance, I guess, because most of the events are fine. I think ignore strife it's not super dangerous, but it is annoying. If we can win in the fast phase, I want to do that. So let's see if we can do that. I can do trees radiate and do I have anything that has those elements? Sun and plant primarily. Song of Sanctity. So if I do this, we have 2 card plays already? Yeah, so grab Song of Sanctity and a energy. Just give me lots of energy and be in range. I'm short a moon, but I can get it from a friend. A moon, and it's just a moon. I probably could have played one more card. Yeah, I could have taken a card play, but I think it's fine because we can get in here. We can take energy, play this, play Elemental Boon, and a card with animal on it. And I think we're good. Elemental Boon for moon and plant. And animal, why not? Kill the city. And this. Kill the city. GG. We've done it. With the best spirit and the worst spirit against Hasbro 6, we have defeated them. Don't worry about what's going on there. It's fine. Took care of the cities. So a 51% chance plus a 16% chance turns out to be about average, actually. You combine them, but yeah, it worked out pretty well. We had a really good turn there with the arson, I think, that just cleaned up this wetlands forest that was becoming a big problem, and we're able to just like stun lock like 2 lands. So almost like what we were doing with Vital Strength of the Earth, but we were more effective. So I think being able to stun lock 2 lands is important. So this has been Handelabra Live. thanks for watching. I'm going to get going as I've been streaming a bit long today. But yeah, stay tuned for more Spirit Island, One Deck Dungeon, Sentinels, and things coming up on the channel. And we'll see y'all next time. Bye for now.